Hello, brave awakened ones. Doing an energy update, Ascension energy update for you today. I think it's the 7th, right? October 7th, 2018. Okay, we're in the thick of things. All right, and like I said, October, the event energies are picking up hard, okay? And like light workers and the collective, well, October is when the collective starts feeling it, like, or white workers been feeling it, but it's going to get more and more intense. The more intense it is for you, the more intense it is for the collective, you know? And it's tower moment after tower moment after tower moment. There's a lot clearing up, the last bits that need to clear up in your life. So whether big or small, you know, it's somebody that you thought you thought you knew stuff about them, you thought you knew about, where you stand with the person, then boom, all of a sudden, big reveal. Or, somebody in your family, 1 second they're really, really healthy, next second they're in the hospital. Your job, you thought it was secure, boom, something happens. It's just, all these bombs going off for big clearing. But when all that clears up, the sun comes out, there's clarity, there's liberation. But I'm telling you right now, it is not today, it is not tomorrow where you reach here for what I was shown by my oversoul. And please take what resonates. If your dates, your times don't match up with me, that's fine. You know, we're all awakened at different times. We're on different timelines. They all going to meet up in the end. Period. That's all. So the wisdom and the knowledge comes to us in different ways. Take what resonates, drop the rest, okay? For light workers who are on assignment here, because the light workers are the ones on assignment, and like I always say, not every star seed, not every older earth soul that incarnated in this time are light workers. Light workers are on assignment. We're here on a job, okay? So the light workers, by the end of this year, end of 2018, we will be fully assimilated, okay? We will be at the foothills. I've reached the foothills of 5D. You will be at the foothills, if you're not already, of 5D, because that is when we set up. We have to have all our stuff, all our shit together, you know, and then come January, if you haven't already, start in on your true assignment, what you really came here to do. Okay. Are there more that are going to come in afterwards? Of course there are. But the ones that need to be there, you know who you are already. You've gotten the calling. In fact, because I'm a trigger for light workers, and I help clear light worker energy, and I trigger light workers. I trigger their kundalini. I trigger their third eye. I give them confirmation of what's going on. They know who they are already. They really do, because I've already seen several of them. They keep pouring in. But don't worry, I still have time. If more people need to book appointments, book your appointments. You can go to my I forgot to say, this is Veronica of Higher Realm Holistic. You go to higherrealmholistics.com to do it. Okay, so yeah, lots of tower moments clear you to set you up for full liberation into your new, not new, but what you came here to do. And for the collective, that's not going to happen until 2020. When exactly in 2020, I honestly don't know yet. All right. Now, these ascension, the energies coming in, the event energies that are pouring in right now, ramping up. A few days ago, on the 3rd, I got hit with something very physical. And no, it wasn't an energy weapon. It wasn't anything negative. I know when it is, actually, because of I where I am spiritually, my soul is, my energy body is right now. Those can't affect me, right? Those can't affect me anymore, because I vibe too high for them to affect me. They don't go past, you know, they the most sophisticated ones, the most, you know, sophisticated ones are the most the strongest ones when it comes to the darkest ones when it comes to entities themselves. They don't they can't cross that barrier. You know, their window narrows the higher you go to get you, you know, through 4D. You know, and they just can't cross that barrier. So it doesn't affect me at all. Believe me, it used to. And so did darker energies used to, especially when you're passing through 4D. Big time. Depending on your assignment, you know, the bigger the assignment, the more souls you're going to affect, the more they come after you. But any which ways, the ascension energy I was hit with, I was actually in the hospital with my mom. Her symptoms got really bad to the point where, you know, she's like I said, I'm treating her symptoms. Okay. And I had asked my oversoul a while ago about my mother because she's completely unawakened. Okay. She's a very religious woman. She prays her nonstop. She travels the world going to all different religious sites and stuff like that because she's a retired nurse. But she's seeped in religion, you know, seeped in dogma and unawakened to everything else going around her. So even so, she's being hit with ascension symptoms, and that somebody completely unawakened, you know, like many other people I've heard online say, and I'm saying they're still going to be hit with ascension symptoms because there's everybody is affected by the event. The energies hit everyone, everyone and everything on Earth, everyone and everything on Gaia, because it's here to raise Gaia's energy. So everybody's feeling it. You don't have to be awakened. You could be the most asleep person and you're going to feel it. How it affects you depends on your soul's choosing. And your ego plays into it. Are you going to release that ego or aren't you releasing that ego? And here's another thing. There's a lot of people out there saying, I don't feel anything, but I'm a light worker. I'm fully awakened. Why don't I feel anything? Because there's a big difference between wisdom and knowledge. Just because you know something doesn't make you wise. I've had plenty of people, and this especially goes for males. And no, I do not male bash, but it's what I'm seeing when it comes to what's going on with the awakening and all the comments, because I do my best to try to read my comments. I'm seeing with the males, they're getting very angry with me. And a few of them, actually, it's not a small amount, it's a very large amount, okay, who are knowledgeable, but the wisdom's not there when it comes to ascension. And I try to do an energy read on them. I try not to do that because I feel, you know, it's invasion of privacy. But when you come at me, I'm going to read you energy wise. I'm going to get a feel what's going on for you. Okay. So FYI. And one of them, he wrote that he was very angry with me when I was talking about the event energies because he said he was on this ascension path for 20 years. And what do I come out of the blue knowing this and what's going on? And he knows about it, quote unquote, but he hasn't experienced it. How could it's not possible that I'm experiencing all of this and he's not? And then I had 6 guys underneath him agree with him and write stuff saying that, oh, she's full of it, she's lying, she's this, she's that, she's making stuff up, she's copying other people's work because how could she possibly know this? And then one of them, he's like, you know, something else I had said with the great event, like I think my first video I made on the great event, which wasn't that long ago, a few weeks ago. And he was like, this is, you know, what you're saying is, you know, what they're saying and whatever, you know, it matches up scientifically. You know, and I told them, you have to have the eyes to hear and you have to have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. meaning you have to have the wisdom, okay? Your higher heart chakra has to be open. Your third eye has to be open. I have a guy at work who I was real good buddies with. I really was. And then he started awakening, because you could be awakened, right? You start getting the knowledge. You start seeing things, getting the knowledge. But then you have to have the wisdom. And he has all the knowledge, and he's going around just bashing the people who aren't awakened yet, who he thinks aren't awakened. That's the funny part. He thinks they aren't ascending. Actually, he's the one not ascending. He may be awakened, but he's not taking it to the next level of ascending. There are people who are working there who he's like, I'm fully awake, man. I'm awake. I'm wide awake. I see everything. I see everything. Yo, how could you not see that, dog? What's wrong with you? Damn, you stupid. I mean, like, he's really berating them and everything. I'm like, and I'm inside, I'm like, nigga, you know, excuse me. That's the New York in me. I'm like, fool, you don't know. I'm thinking, I said, bro, you don't know. You don't know. You know, it's like you're the one who's not rising. And the person who's not talking and it's like saying, keeping their opinion to themselves and saying, you know what, I don't know, yeah, I don't know about that, and just they're the ones who are actually ascending. They're the ones who I see the light getting brighter in them, and his light is actually dimming because his ego's getting even harder and stronger. It's like, think of the dark side, those people they call the Illuminati and the Cabal. They have all the knowledge. They do. But look what they're doing with the knowledge. Look what they're doing. They're taking their knowledge for superiority. That's why I won't call them elites, because they're not elite. They're not elite. You have to use your wisdom. They're not elite. So that's the route I see going on, okay? Nevertheless, like I said, lots of tower moments going on. And on the 3rd, was that Wednesday, my mom's symptoms got so intense. Like I said, when I came here, she was very ill. And I knew she was going to be because my oversoul told me. So that's why on my way down from New York, I stopped off in Atlanta. And she's extremely ill. Her body's not handling she's been dealing with Ascension symptoms for a while, for about a year now, actually. And I was told you're going to be there at the right time because I was upset. I was supposed to leave a couple of weeks ago to go back home, and everything, my check was delayed. Everything was delayed. And I was, like I said, I get angry. I fight with my oversoul. I kick, I scream, I yell. And then, like a baby trying to be put to sleep, you just shut up and eventually end up, on your ass. So I made it down just in time. The Ascension symptoms are getting horrible with her. Like I said, you treat the symptoms. So I ended up taking her to the hospital. She's admitted because she's an older woman. She's in her 80s. And she's getting IV. She's being treated actually for a blockage, intestinal blockage. And yes, it's physical. These Ascension symptoms are physical, especially for someone like her. You get horrible physical things. Before I had my Great Awakening in 2012, I thought I had lupus. I had, my skin hurt, my bones hurt. I had the butterfly rash, and it was intense. And like I said, all the tests were done on me. Everything came out negative. And the doctor was like, but you have to have it because you have all the signs and symptoms of it. Not knowing it's my body purging. And eventually it was revealed to me through my oversoul that my body was purging. And then it went away. Magically went away. Poof, literally. Butterfly rash gone. Horrible rash I had on my chest gone. Once in a while my skin would tingle, but the bones aching, gone. Everything was gone. So that's what ends up happening. Okay. And I asked my oversoul, what can I do for my mom? Treating the symptoms. Is it going to help her? Is she going to make it? And, I was shown very clearly what's going to happen with my mother. And my oversoul said, yes, take her to the hospital. And, they will treat her symptoms, her signs and symptoms, and you will literally, I was told, you will be buying her another year and a half. So it is what it is. Okay. Um, and the thing is, my daughter, who does not want to be awakened, who's fighting it every bit of the way, she even spoke to me 3 months ago and said, Mom, why am I dreaming about grandma? And, I'm not going to reveal the entire dream. And I said, yeah, because you're the one who's going to be tasked with this. And she said, God damn it. I told you I didn't want to be part of all this. I was like you have a choice. Shut up and go quietly. Stop fighting it. But she's still fighting it. Whatever. She'll learn. She has a job to do. She's a light worker, whether she wants to be one or not. She'll get there. But like I said, the clearing is happening and everything like that. People literally dropping off. And then eventually you'll end up in the clearing. But like I said, don't think it's going to happen tomorrow. Okay. Maybe for some it might. I'm not going to say it's not, because, we're each on different time schedules, basically, as light workers. Some may arrive by tomorrow, but I know most, if not all, will arrive by the end of this year, whether they know it or not, you know. Back again to, I was in the hospital with her. We're in the ER, and I was with the baby. And I was just with the baby, walking around, talking, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I was bending down to pick up a book, and I feel something hit me in the back. And I stood up, and bright as day, I saw it. I was hit in the trunk area, chest and upper abdomen area, and this ball of white bright light just came shooting out of me and kept going. And I was like, what the? And I know the baby saw it because she's almost 2. She stood up and she went, oh, Mimi. And she calls me Mimi. And I just looked at her. I was like, holy crap. That's the big energy. That's the big energy wave of the event that's coming. And I knew I was supposed to be here in Atlanta. I didn't know exactly when and stuff like that. And now my trip is delayed. I was supposed to be leaving tomorrow, and now I'm going to stay because of my mom. I have to stay longer. So I'm just prepping up the house. I just got my water yesterday. I'm going to go food shop and get some food today and stuff like that. Just prepping. So that big wave came through me. That was at night, like 9 o'clock at night on Wednesday. And then around, what was it, like 1 o'clock in the morning, around midnight or so, I just started seeing light sparkles, these sparkling lights everywhere around me. Just, I've seen them before. I've been seeing them since I was a child, see them once in a while. But this was like in the air, and it was just ding, ding, like sparkling. They were bigger than usual, and they were just everywhere. I was just looking, and I know the baby saw because she was looking up and around like, ooh, ah, and I was just looking. I was like, holy cow. And it was just floating everywhere. It was in a mist and sparkly everywhere. And I've been getting the chills like crazy. But last night, this morning, of course, I'm only on 2 hours sleep. Like I said, I accepted it. I guess that's not part of the deal. You don't need sleep because I'm not tired. Between because I fell asleep around 11 and 1 o'clock is when I felt something hit me, and it was huge chills. I've never had before. I literally was like, if someone was here, they would think I was having convulsions. It looks like somebody going through withdrawal symptoms, bad WDs. For any nurse or doctor out there who's seen that, that's what I'm talking about. Just horrible, just convulsing, just my whole body shaking, teeth chattering, everything shaking. And then also feeling ice cold and breaking out into a sweat at the same time. Huge sweat. That lasted for a while, a good hour or more. And then it calmed down. Then it came back again, but not as strong. Like it kept coming back, but less and less and less and less. And then finally, I just laid there for a while, just to gather myself, you know. And just because you reach the foothills of 5D doesn't mean you're not going to be hit with these lights and your body be affected. Your spirit may be there, your consciousness may be there. You're operating from, lower 5D, which I am, lower 5D mode, but your physical body, remember, we're taking that with us. And the physical runs a little slower because all these high energies are coming up. The physical is running a little slower, okay? The physical runs on Gaia's clock because it's part of Gaia. You have to remember you're made of the earth. So your body doesn't have, your soul may not be made of the earth. Some people have earth souls, earthborn souls, I should say. I did make a video on different type of souls, how I would show souls were birthed. The birthing of a soul is what I call it. My soul is not an earthborn soul. Gaia did give birth. That's why she's called mother. Gaia did give birth to some souls. So I'm not an earthborn soul, but my body is made of the earth. Okay. So that's why our bodies, our physical selves have to go through this transformation and transmutation in our DNA, the latent DNA, sleep DNA, junk DNA is the liars like to call it, has to be awakened, and our whole physiology must be transmuted and transformed, is because we're ascending physically along with Gaia. Now, if you think of Jesus, when he transmuted into light, he did not take his physical body with him. Actually, he did take his physical body with him. And he did it in one felt swoop because he's a much higher dimensional being, than I am, and most of us are, of course. And there are plenty of like yogis and stuff who they say are able to transmute into light bodies like that easier, quicker, or they've been doing it for many years, 50 years, whatever years, however centuries or decades they've been down here, and transmute like that into the light rainbow body. That's not necessarily what we're turning into. The most of us are turning into. I know I'm not turning into that. My physical body is turning into a fifth dimensional body. And that's it. But that's not my consciousness. No, I know my consciousness is going beyond 5D. My soul itself was birthed in 6D. So my soul came down as a sixth dimensional soul. Because in order to reach down and raise something higher, you can do it. If you could be above and go below and reach up, down, you can't reach up and pull something down. So Gaia needed to be pulled up. So that's why a lot of master souls, and I'm a master soul, were birthed. I mean, my soul was birthed eons ago, as I was told. My oversoul said, too old for me to comprehend, for my human mind to comprehend. Had to be a sixth dimensional soul because Gaia is stuck in 3D and needs to come up to 5D. That's what she wants to come up to. So it has to be 6D to pull her up. So those of us who are anchoring energy into Gaia in order for her to rise, our souls are higher dimensional. I hope anyone could get that. Oh, you have to have the ears to hear and the eyes to see. So, if you don't get it now, you can come back 6 months from now and get it. And like I said, people were like, oh no, she doesn't make sense, blah, 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 blah. That's your ego talking, okay? Because I used to say I didn't understand timeline jumping, timeline collapsing when my oversoul sent me the video and said, watch it anyway, because when it happens, you'll be prepared and it'll trigger your memory and you'll know what you're going through. I didn't know for months. It didn't happen to me for months until it actually happened. I come out of it in shock and I said, holy crap, that's what Lisa Transcendence Brown was talking about. When I first saw it, I was like, this is madness. What the heck is this? Doesn't make sense to me. Like I said, once you get there, hopefully this will ring true in your head. And once you get there, you'll be like, oh, yeah, that's right. Veronica said that. This is what's going on. All right. Be forewarned. So the energies, it hit event energy. I think that's what it was. Because that's when I saw the great event, I saw that big light burst of light coming from the central sun, coming through our sun, and then hitting Gaia, and then the split starting to happen. And so I guess that must have been it, because it looked like the same light to me. I'm not saying there might be a bigger one behind it. Who knows? But this was a pretty damn big one. So just prepare yourselves, help prepare your family, have empathy for people, be non-judgmental. I did make a video on that, on Ascension bullying. Okay, and that's what it is, Ascension shaming. Because you don't know, that soul could be asleep now, and then once an energy wave big enough hits it to remind it what it's here for, bam, it's triggered awake. You don't know. Or you think, I'm going slow. Why aren't I experiencing this? Am I falling behind? I thought I was a star seed. You just need a bigger energy wave to slap your soul awake, basically. I need a big one to slap me awake in 2013. That was the big one for me. Even though at the age of 4 or 5 years old, I already knew I was different. I just felt like the weird kid who knew too much and felt too much and saw too much and tried to hide it. But for me to remember who and what I am, be on that path to who and what I am, it took the 2012 energies. That was pretty huge in December to smack me awake. So maybe you just need something bigger to smack you awake, to smack your body awake, smack your soul awake. That's it. Okay? So, don't despair. Don't think I'm running behind. It is what it is. All right? And just a special message for somebody out there who might be listening. I did go to Feel Good, which it took me about a week to figure out. Feel Good. I did go. That's his name. He spells it PHILGOOD. And I was like, oh, okay. And I kept saying, oh, duh, feel good. Any which way, silly me. So I did go to the video, and I did watch the video you're referring to. And yeah, it was right on point. Yeah. Thank you for the confirmation. But your comments confused me. So please read my reply. Even though we did have a talk prior. So please go and read my reply. Any which ways, that's that. So hang in there, everyone. Love y'all. Do your best to deal with these ascension symptoms. Help your people out, and be kind to them and be kind to yourself. Love everyone. Bye. Namaste. Oh, if you're interested in a session with me, like I said, even though I'm here in Georgia, I've already done a few sessions with people. So you can go to my website, higherrealmholistics.com, and you could book it. All right, bye.